Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Johnny reopened Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? Spoiler warning for Cobra Kai Season 6, you have been warned. So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 5 would still happen, Terry Silver would still be exposed, and Cobra Kai would shut down. The former Cobra Kai and Miyagi Fang students would get along. Daniel and Johnny would continue training their students, and those events would carry on. Johnny and Chosen would still be fighting over their dojo name. Chosen would want Miyagi-Do, while Johnny would want Eagle Fang. Johnny would want to come up with a new way of training. And this is when he would get a text from an unknown number telling him to meet at Coyote Creek. This is when Johnny would show up, and he would be expecting to see Kreese, but he would be surprised to see Stingray, and he would be training a group of students in Cobra Kai. Johnny would be confused, and he would ask what was going on. Stingray would tell him that he should be the one to reopen Cobra Kai. Stingray would tell him how Cobra Kai helped him, and how he's taught him and many others, and he would tell him how his students need him. And at first, Johnny wouldn't want to listen to Stingray, but he would eventually realize that Stingray was right. He would remember how he reopened Cobra Kai to help kids be better, and with him as a sensei again, he could do it again. So Johnny would decide to reopen Cobra Kai. So Johnny would go to the old Cobra Kai dojo, and he would lace it out again. The events of Season 6 would continue. Johnny would go to the Miyagi-Do dojo to say goodbye, and he would say that he was reopening Cobra Kai. Danny would be surprised and confused. Daniel would say that they just took down Cobra Kai, and he would ask him why he would want to reopen it. So Johnny would tell him what Stingray told him. Johnny would say he wasn't Kreese or Silver, and that he now knows that the way of the fist isn't right. He would say that his Cobra Kai was going to be different, and that he was going to help his students be better. Danny would tell Johnny that him and Chosen had decided to be Eagle Fang, and he would want to convince him to stay, but Johnny would decline, and he would thank Daniel for everything, and he would ask him to trust him. Daniel would see how much Johnny had changed, so he would trust Johnny. So Daniel and Johnny would end on good terms. Miguel, Robbie, and the rest of the Eagle Fang students would be surprised that Johnny reopened Cobra Kai. The Eagle Fang students would be conflicted, and they would decide to go with Johnny. Robbie wouldn't know what to think, but he would trust Johnny now, so Robbie and Tori would go with Johnny. Hawk would stay in Miyagi-Do. Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do would continue their training, and Johnny would register for the Saikai Taikai. Season 6 would continue. Kreese would still go to Korea, and he would still want to convince Master Kim Sang-young to register for the Saikai Taikai. So Kreese would try to register Cobra Kai for the Saikai Taikai, but he would find out that Cobra Kai was already registered in the US, and he would be surprised. Kenny would find out that Cobra Kai had reopened, so Kenny would show up at the Cobra Kai dojo, and Robbie and Kenny would be surprised to see each other. Kenny would confront Robbie. He would ask him why he was in Cobra Kai again after everything he told him, but Robbie would say that this Cobra Kai was different and that they were going to be better. Robbie would say that he knows that this is a lot to handle, and he would ask him to trust him again. Kenny would hesitate, but he would eventually rejoin Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do wouldn't be enemies, and the students would still hang out outside the dojo. Stingray would be happy that Cobra Kai reopened, so Stingray would rejoin Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai would continue training for the Saikai Taikai, and eventually it would be revealed that the Saikai Taikai would take place in Barcelona, so Cobra Kai would choose a team of 6 to compete in the Saikai Taikai. Their team would consist of Miguel, Robbie, and Tori, and Kenny, Devin, and Bert. And Miyagi-Do's team would consist of Sam, Hawk, Dimitri, and Anthony, Chris, and Nate. Miyagi-Do's team captains would be Hawk and Sam. Johnny would want Miguel and Robbie to fight for captain, along with Tori and Devin. So Miguel and Robbie would fight, and the fight would be very similar. Robbie would still be balanced in this timeline, and he would use a combination of offense and defense, and he would still defeat Miguel. So Robbie would still be the team captain. Devin and Tori would fight, but Tori would get the upper hand, and she would defeat Devin. So Tori would be the team captain. Kreese would come back to the valley, and he would find out that Johnny reopened Cobra Kai. Kreese would be happy that Johnny had reopened Cobra Kai, but Johnny would be mad. Johnny would tell Kreese that if he ever goes near him or any of his students, he was gonna regret it, and that he was lucky that he wasn't calling the police. Johnny would say that he made the mistake of allowing him to come back the first time, and that he wasn't doing that again, so Kreese would leave. Kreese would still want to get in contact with Tori, but Tori still wouldn't want anything to do with Kreese. Season 6 would continue. Tori's mom would still pass away. Robbie would want to be there for Tori. Eventually the Saikai Taikai would happen, and Miyagi-Do and Johnny's Cobra Kai would be there to compete. And that is where I'm gonna end part 1. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Johnny reopened Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 5? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.